everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. This week I'm doing something a little bit different from my usual vlogs. I am obviously still running this week, but I'm also going on a trip up to Glasgow, actually further on past Glasgow to Fort William to take part in a ice climbing day. This is sort of related to everything that I do because I am desperate, always so desperate to try new things, and I'm really into adventuring, and ice climbing is one of those things that once you get to a certain level of adventuring you kind of need to learn how to do if you want to start doing proper mountaineering. And while that's definitely still a long way off for me and I'm very content in doing things like ultramarathons and things at a lower altitude, at some point in my life I definitely do want to be doing much higher elevation stuff. So I'm going out to Glasgow to give this a go to celebrate the launch of a new film called The Alpinist, which is about a solo climber who used to do, if you've ever watched Free Solo, it's very similar to that but on ice. Similar in the way that it has, the guy who did it had no ropes. He basically just did it for the fun of it, for the thrill and the exhilaration, and they've made a film about him, and we're going up to go and watch the film and also to give ice climbing a go.
When I'm in the mountains, life is so incredibly simple.
Who impresses you right now?
This kid Marc-Andre Leclerc. He's been doing all kinds of crazy alpine soloing. What I'm doing is on rock, and then I see Marc-Andre free soloing on ice and snow.
First time I heard about Mark, he was living in a snow cave on the Parkway or something. He is pushing things that is pretty much unknown.
I'm Marc-Andre Leclerc. I'm a climber, generally speaking.
He's different than anyone I'd ever met. I love him for that.
He belongs in a different era when it was like wild.
I can tell little Marc-Andre stories all day, but he doesn't even care if anybody ever knows what he's climbing.
It's more just to have a casual, fun adventure. I just hope he's careful.
Anything could happen.
I mean, I know it's dangerous. I'm not like deluding myself that it's not dangerous to go soloing.
So why do it?
Solo alpinism, climbing big, technical mountains, is more than just a sport.
It's only for the very best climbers on their very best days.
It's the art of surviving in the most crazy situations.
Marc-Andre had some challenges as a kid. Climbing was like a form of freedom to be himself.
When you're in the mountains, it's like all of the superficialities of life just sort of evaporate.
Holy smokes!
Torre Ager.
They're going climbing.
Some people consider it the hardest peak in the Americas.
Is a razor's edge between genius and madness. That's a sharp, hard edge to ride.
Mark dropped off the radar.
A climber has gone missing.
If death was not a possibility, coming out would be nothing. Not an adventure and not an art.
How was it? Scary?
No, not particularly.
Just another day out.
A really good day out.
And this will be my first time ever doing anything like this. Probably the closest I've ever come is obviously doing things like bouldering and rock climbing. But this is with ice, and I've got no idea what to expect. It's completely new for me, and I thought I'd bring you guys along to kind of show you what I'm doing, but also, you know, if you guys want to give it a go. We're going to the largest indoor ice climbing centre in the UK. There'll be a bit of everything there, I should think, and the group that I'm going with is kind of a big mix of people who are already mountaineers, already adventurers, or people who have never actually tried it before, and I've never tried it before, but I'm really into the outdoors, so I'm kind of, I guess, somewhere in between. So yeah, really excited to go. I'm about to get on the train up to Glasgow, and then tomorrow morning we're gonna start climbing, and I'll be bringing you along for the ride. Hey everyone, so we have just arrived in Kinlochleven. We are here for climbing. We're at this amazing ice climbing wall. They also do bouldering and normal rope climbing as well, and we're going to be giving it a go today. And we got up super early, so I'm a little bit sleepy, but hoping to wake up because it looks absolutely terrifying and I don't want to go wrong. I'm going to be bringing you guys along with me and sharing with you kind of what's the deal, how you do the whole thing, and what I hope to use it for in the future. I'm definitely planning on doing some adventures in the next couple of years that will involve this sort of thing as well, so better get practicing.
Comes to ice climbing, as with any kind of climbing, footwork and trying to get as much work done with your legs is going to be key. Do not try to do everything with your arms. So when you're making placements in the ice with your crampons, you don't need to be welling into the ice. The harder you kick, the worse the placement is actually going to be. If you kick really hard into the ice, the crampon points will penetrate, but the toe of the boot will actually bounce the crampon points back out the way again. So what you're looking to do is hinge everything from your knee, and you can let the weight of the boots and the crampon do some of the work for you. And you're just looking, and you can hear it's almost like a nice crunch that it's making.
It's weirdly satisfying. Get my crampons in. Oh, it looks so steep.
You can see my feet are nice and shoulder width apart. They're not close together. My knees are bent in and my hips are into the ice, and that'll allow me to have a good look around, and it gives me a good solid base to work off. So you just look for places like that, and you can see there's like almost a wee bucket hold there, and it takes me zero energy to put that axe in there and zero energy to take it back out again. So you can see there that the axe doesn't need to be buried that deep for it to hold. It can hold on quite small placements.
No.
So you want to go from squat to stand. I'm not just pulling with my arm on the axe. I am trying to drive as much as I possibly can with my legs, and it'll save you so much energy. And then the other axe, I look for my next placement, give that a test, and again, I'm just moving up and I'm driving everything with my legs. Don't bring your feet close together, okay? It's something that everybody does, you know, but try and avoid it as much as you can. So if you get too close together, we have people take a crampon point and back and let you go, okay?
Shit!
Definitely want to avoid
not
that
me.
part.
Okay.
No good for you guys, not good for us.
You're gonna have to tell me what to do because I have absolutely like no
So I
idea.
assume you just grab whatever tools you want. So have you ever been in a harness or anything?
Yeah, but like not for
Okay,
ever.
so now to tie in, you go through this.
There you go.
You double through your 8. Have you tied a figure 8 like this?
For sailing, for climbing.
Yeah, perfect.
But again, not for ages.
So you follow through your 8, so you can see that it's like a perfectly doubled 8. My gloves
Nice.
are all baggy, I can't feel my fingers. And then you put that through, that's just like a backup, and now you're totally bomber.
Dreamy.
Like you are safe.
Okay.
And then you see how he's walking back down.
Yeah, sit down basically. I'm nervous. I'm kind of stressed.
Okay, so just before we start, I guess, you double check your knot's good, have you on belay, we're all good.
Yeah, all good.
And you have a plan when you get to the top, you'll just sit back, and you're all good.
Chill out, okay.
Alright, get that. Focus on your feet.
Okay. Not good start.
Your toes are more straight in. Like you can feel a little bit lower and your crampon will stick back.
Okay.
So you see how your feet are slipping a little bit?
Yeah.
It's like when you kick it in, drop your feet more and you'll get better.
Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Yeah, try not to overextend too far back the feet.
This is hard. Don't let me kick your face.
I said I was like, I feel like the clothes.
When am I at the top?
Roughly now.
When do I stop? When do I finish? Do I? I don't... Okay, you are so close to my foot.
Do you want to try it?
I'm going to give it a go. Okay,
Yeah.
so he said...
So, with the first one, push the first rope to the side and go in from underneath so you're following it all the way. So you want to go
round the back?
That way.
Oh.
Follow it all the way around the outside.
Okay.
Pull, pull, pull.
All the way around, and then in that one?
Yeah.
And then all the way around again, and then through that one? No.
From underneath? Yeah.
Underneath, up through that one. Yeah, if you could check it, that would be great.
That's fine. So this in itself is super safe.
Yeah.
What we're going to do with the long end is we're going to wrap it round twice and then tuck it away, and that keeps it nice and neat.
Great. Out the way.
Okay.
Perfect. That's beautiful. Just like sailing.
So here, because it's a bit of a chimney, you can use either side. How are you doing, Flora?
Just hanging out. Am I at the top? So I've just done my first ice climb. Absolutely exhausting and a lot scarier than I kind of thought. I mean, obviously I thought it was going to be scary, but at the same time, even though you've got the ropes and everything, it's a little bit terrifying to know that if you don't put the pick in properly or if you don't put your foot in properly, you're just going to come crumbling down like the rest of the ice. And that was fun, really, really fun. I had Alex holding the rope as well, so he was giving some really great advice on where to put my feet, where to put the picks. But really at the end of the day, you just got to try and, like, you know, hammer it into the ice and hope that it holds, really. Amazing experience. I'm now just heading off to do some bouldering. Got my bouldering outfit on, which is basically the same as my other climbing outfit, just minus like quite a lot of layers. So I have Alex Honnold here. You guys may know Alex from the film Free Solo. I'm going to get him to introduce himself and like what he does, although probably most of you will already know. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Alex Honnold. I am a professional rock climber, and I've spent 25 years climbing things all over.
Where are you from?
I am from California in the US, but now I live in Las Vegas.
Nice.
It's the best climbing in the US.
Nice, okay. If you couldn't be a climber, what sport would you choose?
Oh, it's hard to say because all the other sports that I love are all variations of climbing. Like trail running is like kind of like mountain climbing or like mountain biking. I mean, basically the other things that I do are like skiing. They're all ways to explore the mountains.
Yeah.
And climbing is basically a way to explore the mountains. And so you know, they're all variations of like going uphill in the mountains.
Yeah, I think people would be very happy if you chose trail running as your option. So
I mean, it's not that far from it because there's, you know, it's all a spectrum because at a certain point trail running becomes mountain climbing.
yeah, definitely. What would you say is your biggest life achievement? Not necessarily to do with climbing.
Oh, definitely climbing. I mean, you know, free solo, yeah, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm married now and have a kid on the way, and so presumably that will take over, but it has to actually happen first.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
We'll see. But ask again in 20 years, maybe I'll be like, having family, it's so great. But no, right now it's
climbing.
Yeah,
okay, cool. No, I like that. I think that's good. Do you think anyone can learn to climb like you, or do you think it's kind of like something that people are kind of born to do?
I think almost anybody can basically learn to climb pretty well. I mean, because I know that I have no natural gift for climbing, no physical strength. I mean, I know that because most of my friends who are professional climbers are physically much more gifted than I am at climbing.
Sure.
I think, if anything, my gift for climbing was really liking it and kind of having the drive to go climb 6 days a week for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, which is no small thing because obviously, like, to be motivated is a big part of getting good at something.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be said for discipline as well. What would you say your balance between motivation and discipline for getting out there, or is it kind of a blurred line for you?
I'd say it's a little bit of both. I'd say there's a lot of motivation, but there's also a healthy amount of discipline too. I mean, and discipline also comes around the lifestyle stuff, like getting enough sleep, eating well, not partying too hard, like not getting crazy, you know, like having a good lifestyle that allows you to climb at a high level.
Yeah. Speaking of nutrition and diet, how do you eat? Do you have like a particular diet or?
No, basically I try to eat well. I'm like mostly vegetarian, try to eat plants relatively wholesome. I've been eating a bit of fish recently, which, I don't know, sort of experimenting. I think it's important as an athlete to be able to experiment with your diet from time to time, not be too dogmatic about it, because I travel a lot and it's important to be flexible.
Yeah, sure. Do you think that your confidence in the mountains is something that has come with experience, or have you always felt relatively at home?
Well, I've always felt relatively at home, like comfortable in the mountains. We're just like, it's such a beautiful place, I'm happy to be here. But the comfort of actually navigating the mountains has definitely come with experience.
Nice.
And even still, and it's funny being here indoor ice climbing because I'm a really bad ice climber, and I still don't feel that comfortable in crampons and boots. But that's also because I don't spend that much time doing it.
Yeah, fair. And would you start to do it a little bit more, or it's not your thing?
Well, I live in Las Vegas, so I don't really climb like glaciated peaks that up. There actually is some ice climbing in the winter in a mountain nearby, which I have done, more for the novelty. But I mean, if I lived, you know, in the Alps, let's say, then I'm sure I would do more mountain climbing. But I don't like it that much.
Okay, fair. What advice would you give to someone who's looking to start out climbing or adventuring in general, you know, being out in the mountains?
I'd say to just go out and do the thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's no huge barrier to entry, especially with climbing. It's so easy to come to a wall like this and just try climbing.
Yeah.
And then if you like it, great. You can follow up in a lot of ways by going outdoors or, you know, pushing yourself in whatever way feels comfortable. But there's no reason not to try.
Obviously, climbing was recently in the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like the things like speed climbing and you know, that kind of more technical stuff, or would you rather be just in the mountains doing that?
I mean, I personally have always preferred climbing outside. Though I do love climbing in the gym, and I do that quite a bit as well. But I like the Olympic format. I like the competitive format. I mean, there's a whole World Cup circuit for climbing. It's nice to see climbers compete in different ways. And it's nice for them to have an avenue for it if they want to. You know, because the thing is, it's not like anyone's forced to compete. If they don't want to compete, they just go climb outside.
Yeah, nice. The film, last night, The Alpinist. When did you first kind of hear about it being made?
I knew Marc-Andre for many years, and then the filmmakers had filmed with me for the same project. I mean, so the film that became The Alpinist began as an exploration of free soloing and climbing more generally, and then eventually they kind of honed in on Marc-Andre when he was doing such incredible things.
Yeah.
But so they've been working on that quite a long time, and I'm quite good friends with the filmmaker, and so I've watched drafts and, like, you know, helped with it, and then obviously did interviews for it. So I've seen it along the way quite a bit, but the final product is incredible. I mean, it's really come a long way from when I started. Yeah,
amazing. And do you think it is a good representation of what climbing is about?
Well, I mean, it's definitely a great representation of what climbing was like for Marc-Andre Leclerc.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I mean, I would never say that that's what climbing is or what it should be because he's such a singular climber.
Sure.
But I think it's a really beautiful portrait of what climbing can be.
Yeah.
But the reality is that most climbers climb indoors and are never going to have any of those kinds of experiences, and that's fine because, like, I don't even want those kinds of experiences.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I'm a professional climber.
Yeah, okay, fair. What's next for you then?
I'm going on a sport climbing vacation for a few weeks, but basically I'm just climbing full time. I'm just still doing all the same things.
Touring.
Yeah.
Nice. And of course, your kid.
Yeah, have a kid.
That's pretty cool. That's good. Well, thank you very much.
No,
That's
pleasure.
it. Thanks.
Okay, cool.
We have finished up on the walls and I'm completely destroyed. I'm absolutely exhausted. It's funny, it's not cardiovascularly difficult in the way that running is, but in terms of your muscles and new muscles like finger muscles, don't really use those. Forearm muscles, don't really use those. Whole like arm muscles, don't really use those all that much when it comes to running. So I'm completely knackered, and I think the excitement / stress of ice climbing, being up that wall with, you know, your crampons on and the ice picks, it was very exciting when I was up there, and then I got back down and I was like, oh my god, I'm so tired. So that's it for today. We climbed the whole morning. We did the ice climbing, we did the bouldering, I had the interview with Alex, and all in all, a really great day. So I really hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you did enjoy it, please do give it a thumbs up. Great vlog coming out soon as well of a lot of trail running as we ramp up the gears towards my ultra marathon out in exactly the same area as this, actually near Fort William, where I will be bringing you along as well. But as we lead up to it, I'll be doing lots more training in some very cool places. So watch this space, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, come and find me over on Instagram. I am at Food Fitness Flora, and that is it. I will see you next time. Thanks, bye.